Shalom. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom unto the hopefully elect. So we're going to jump right into it. Israel to consider civilians terrorist accomplices if they stay in North Gaza. And one thing about it, the small hats, they losing this war or the propaganda that they pushing on Palestine. Okay, pretty much the whole international community is against the small hat because here it is, you declare all out war on this alleged militant group, Hamas, but yet you over there killing innocent civilians, women, children, the elderly. They blew up the hospital and killed over 500 civilians in Gaza, and they ain't even want to take responsibility for it. They try and put it off like somebody else did. Like, come on, man. That wouldn't even have happened had Israel not declared war on the Palestinians. But when it happened, you want to hide your hands. It's like you want to hide your hands behind your back, like you don't know what's going on. You see? But like I was saying, you so-called declared war on Hamas, but you destroying civilians that ain't got nothing to do with Hamas. So to the international community, this is nothing but blatant hypocrisy. Here it is, you so-called fighting terrorism. You want the terrorists out the land when in fact Hamas was created by the CIA. So the small hat created Hamas as a controlled opposition just so you could have an excuse to go into Palestine and ethnically cleanse the land. That's what you're seeing. Okay, what you're seeing is what these devils have always done, what they've done around the four corners of the earth. Whenever they want a land, they go in there and they do what they do. But they got to have a reason to justify why they doing it. That's why they set up Hamas to, be that, false flag event to where they could go in there and fight terrorism. It's the same thing they did in Iraq, the same thing they did it in Afghanistan, the same thing they did to Muammar Gaddafi, on and on and on and on. Okay, same thing they did to the Native American Indians. We could go on all day about how these devils get down. Okay, history, the proof is in the pudding. All right, history bears record of the treachery of the Edomite. So what you seeing happening here, this is nothing different from what they've always done. This is who they are, because they continue to repeat the same patterns over and over and over again with no sign of repentance. Reading this article, going into it, it says the Israeli military has told Palestinian civilians living in North Gaza that if they don't evacuate to the south, they will be considered an accomplice in a terrorist organization that you created or that you helped create. So they basically telling all of the Palestinian civilians in Gaza to flee into Egypt, and if they don't, they all gonna be slaughtered. So you see, this whole war that the state of Israel declared on the Palestinians in Gaza, this ain't about no Hamas. This ain't about no terrorists. See, that's just a boogeyman that they're using to go in there and do what they really want to do, which is to ethnically cleanse the land and take over the whole of the land of Israel. That's what they want. Now, of course, we not for Palestine or the Israelis. But when you look at this situation as a whole, we understand that that's really our land that they fighting over. But when you look at it, the Israelis, they in the wrong. Okay, the Palestinians, they was there first. They had claim to the land. Okay, because they moved up in there after we was expelled in 70 AD. They moved up in there and they've had it ever since. Okay, this is the time of the Gentiles. It was prophesied that the Gentiles would, trod down Jerusalem until their time be fulfilled. So that's why they over there right now. But wrong is wrong. All right, you trying to go up in there and take the land for yourself when Esau, you ain't got no right to that land. Them small heads, they ain't got no right to that land. They was coming from Europe. They was coming from the Turkish states and all that. They ain't got no claim to the land of Israel. The only place them Edomites belong is in Mount Seir. All right, the caves. That's where they belong. But this is nothing but history repeating itself. See, this is nothing but an apartheid, colonial, racist state. And if you speak against that, they gonna label you anti-Sem and many other false claims, man. To stigmatize anyone who disagrees with their narrative. But you're gonna see that they losing the grip on that narrative. All right. The warning was made in threatening leaflets dropped by Israeli drones over the weekend. And they read urgent warning to residents of Gaza. Your presence north of Wadi Gaza puts your life in danger. Whoever chooses not to leave North Gaza to the south of Wadi Gaza might be identified as an accomplice in a terrorist organization. And they don't got no proof of that. See, that's what I'm saying, that what the Israelis is doing is straight up wickedness. It's straight up witchcraft and diabolical evil, what they doing to them Palestinians. All right? Because how you going to tell somebody they a terrorist when you don't got no type of evidence to support that? What happened to international law where if you're going to deem someone a terrorist, you got to have proof that they've done terrorist acts? What terrorist acts have the Palestinian civilians done to Israeli citizens? Even to the state of Israel as a whole? You don't got nothing. As a matter of fact, the Israelis, they the real terrorists, man. They the ones that have been terrorizing the Palestinians since they got to that land in 1948. That's really what's been going on. But the Western media, they ain't gonna push that. They ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you the truth of the matter behind what's going on. But they want to make themselves look like they the good cop, and the Palestinians, they just people that need to be exterminated because they're not even human. All right. And they doing it people like that because, in fact, the JOOs, when you read they Talmud, it basically says that all other nations outside of the small hat, that they're basically beasts. Okay, that they're less than humans. So that's why they don't have no regard for them people's life. That's why they can just go up in there, bomb them, destroy their infrastructure, destroy the people, and not give a damn about it, because you know what I'm saying, you ain't nothing but a beast. But what do the scriptures say about that? Okay, what do the scriptures say about a righteous man and a beast? Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So the scripture even say that a righteous man regard the life of his beast. All right, so even if the Palestinians are regarded as beasts to the JOOs, hey, well, that shows that you ain't righteous. Okay, that shows that you wicked as hell. Okay, because you don't even regard the life of your beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. And these are indeed some cruel ass devils, man. They killing women, children, elderly people indiscriminately. They don't give a damn. And they basically, trying to get them up out the land by any means. Because of, we were attacked. So all this was a false flag. And they're the minority in that land, by the way. Okay, the small hats that's in that land, they the minority. The Palestinians are the majority, and they get oppressed by the minority, and that's basically apartheid. Just like what was going on in South Africa, the white minority, they was ruling over the black majority of that land. So this is the same thing in the so-called Middle East. Israel previously ordered the evacuation of northern Gaza, an area that's home to 1.1 million people, since Gaza is under blockade. And yeah, they under blockade right now, so they basically sieging Gaza. They cutting off the water, they cut off electricity, they cut off food supply. And this is why Iran, they said that they about to get involved, because the whole Muslim world, because the Palestinians, they you know, into Muslims, Islam, right? So the whole Islamic world, they seeing what's going on, and they like, nah, we ain't just gonna stand by and watch this go down. Because in the Muslim world, the small hat, all right, they are known as the Great Satan. Okay, look it up. All right, that's commonly known. All right, just like we call them the devil, well, is the same thing with Ishmael. Okay, Ishmael know that too. Gaza is under blockade. The only option for Palestinians in the north is to flee to the south, but they can't get to the south. You see that? So they telling them you gotta flee to the south, but they got the exit to Egypt blockaded off, so they can't get through. How they supposed to leave the land if you trap them in? But see, again, this is the devil, man. They tell you that you gotta do something that is basically impossible. So they basically want you to stay there and get killed off. They don't want none of them to escape. So they trying to eradicate the Palestinians out of there, man, completely. Which is also under constant Israeli bombardment. And America, by the way, is supporting this. You see that? America is supporting innocent civilians being shot down in the street like dogs. So that tells you all you need to know about America. All right. And anyone who supports what's going on in Israel, that should tell you all you need to know. Some Gazans have fled to the south, while others have refused to leave their homes or have sought shelter at hospitals, hoping they will not be targeted in the Israeli onslaught. But Israel is ordering hospitals to be evacuated. And why is that? This shows you, is more proof to show you that hospital that got blown up in Gaza that killed 500 plus people, they was responsible for that. Because why would Israel give an order for hospitals in Gaza to be evacuated? Because they about to do more attacks, because they know that the Palestinians in Gaza, that they're taking refuge in these hospitals. So they're giving the order like, listen, get out the hospitals, but really they don't want you to. They want you to stay there and gather in those places because they know that's an easy target. All right. And who's in these hospitals? Once again, elderly people, women, children, young men, but they don't care. They just continue to go in and kill indiscriminately. And I say it again, this is the same thing that they done throughout history. Whenever they wanted a land, they went in there with the sword. Okay, what was Esau's blessing? Genesis 27, 39 and 40. And by the sword shalt thou live. Wherever the so-called white man has gone, the Edomite, wherever they've gone, the same thing follows every time. That's why it says in Habakkuk 2 and 5, he is as death. Wherever this man go, death follows him. Wherever the white man go, things start to die. He went to Australia. He did the same thing to the Aboriginals, right? When he went to South America, the Spanish, he did the same thing. He killed the people off with disease, gave them smallpox blankets, was killing. Hey, man, Christopher Columbus told you in his journal that he could not set his sword down for not 1 hour. So that just go to show you how much killing that these devils was doing once they came over to the New World. But they've done this all over. You name it. When they went to the Philippines, Australia, Africa, King Leopold, all right, South Africa, North and South America, wherever they've gone, death follows them. According to the Palestinian Red Crescent, Israel ordered the evacuation of Al-Quds Hospital, which is housing more than 400 patients and 12,000 displaced civilians. Since Israel has unleashed its bombing campaign on Gaza in the wake of the October 7th Hamas attack, at least 4,651 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza, since revised to over 5,000. So you see, they've killed over 5,000 civilians. These civilians is not claiming to be with Hamas. They not claiming none of that. So why are you killing them like that? And check this out, including 1,756 children, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. On the Israeli side, at least 1,405 people have been killed, and that's BS. Okay, not even 1,000 of them Israelis have been killed. They just putting them numbers out there to seem like, oh, see, we taking casualties too, so this is why we got to bomb them like that. Nah, man, it's BS. The information already came out when they was saying, oh, Hamas kidnapped women and children and he was beheading them. Ain't none of that happened. That's all propaganda. Gazans are also suffering from food and water shortages due to the Israeli siege. A limited number of aid trucks have been allowed to enter Gaza from Egypt, which included medical supplies, but no fuel to power hospital generators. All right, so what's going on over there in the land of Israel is a genocide. Okay, they trying to exterminate the Palestinians from out the land so that the Israelis, the small hats, they can inhabit the land for themselves. All right. So it's crazy, man. But hey, this goes to show you that them small hats, they not the people of the Lord. Okay, it ain't them. And pretty much now the whole world knows because they seeing how wicked and evil that these people are. Let me read this. Isaiah 2:4, and I'll read it in the New Living Translation. The Lord will meditate between, Salakia, let me read it over. The Lord will mediate between nations and will settle international disputes. They will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will no longer fight against nation nor train for war anymore. So when the true Israelites get back into the land, it says the Lord will mediate between the nations and settle international disputes. Are international disputes being settled right now? Is what's going on between Israel and the Palestinians, is that being settled internationally, or is this thing increasing and getting worse day by day? Are the nations turning their weapons of war into weapons, not weapons, but into farming tools? Because that's what a plowshare and a pruning hook is. Okay, those are tools that you use to farm. And it says no nation will no longer fight against nation nor train for war anymore. All you seen over there in that land is war. Ever since them small hats got over there, it's been nothing but war. So this prophecy in itself shows you that the people that's over there in the land right now, they not the people. All right, let me read in the King James. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Once again, the nations know nothing but war. There ain't no peace in that land. And Gabal Abdel Nasser, the president of Egypt in the 1950s, he said, you will never have peace in the land because you left black and you came back white. Speaking of the Israelis. Okay, so in the Muslim world, they already know who's supposed to be in that land. All right. They already know. But yet they, the Israelis, they continue to propagate this lie that they belong there when they have no connection to that land whatsoever. That's not their land. They don't belong over there. So why are they over there killing innocent people just to take it over? Well, it's because they got the power to do it. Because right now, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If not, he covered the faces of the judges. If not, where and who is he? So we know that the wicked, okay, which is Esau, Edom, so-called white people, okay, they rule over the earth. And this is why they can go into any nation that they please and commit acts of terrorism and then label the ones that are being terrorized as the terrorists, while they themselves hold themselves up as the beacon of righteousness, as if they have done nothing wrong, because they have the power. They can control the narrative. They can do all kind of evil and paint themselves as the good guy. Oh, we're being bombed. Oh, our children are being beheaded. We just want to be safe. We just want to dwell in peace. Well, how can you dwell in peace when you've caused nothing but violence? Okay, you live by the sword. That was your blessing. So you can never have peace. Just look at America. The United States of America, which has almost been a nation for 250 years. Well, 96% of the time, America has been at war. So you mean to tell me that since you've been a nation, you've only been at peace for 4% of the time, but 96% of the time you've been at war. So just nonstop wars, ongoing wars all the time. Whenever you come out of a country, you looking to fire something back up. You see? So the hammer of the whole earth, okay, the man of sin is being revealed. All right. And the Lord is consuming this man with the spirit of his mouth, because they can't control the narrative no more. And the whole international community is against what them Israelis is doing to the Palestinians. Okay. This, what they doing to them people is a true violation of what they call it. It's a violation of human rights. Okay. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? They violating them Palestinians' human rights. But again, they don't view them as humans. Okay. They don't view them as, how they would view another Israeli. They view them like dogs. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's why they're doing what they do. Moving on. Russia accuses U.S. of stoking escalation by Mideast force buildup as Pentagon blames Iran. Russia has weighed in strongly against the additional U.S. warships recently sent by the Pentagon to the Middle East region, saying this heightened U.S. presence only serves as a risk of escalation of the conflict in Gaza. And that's what they want. They want World War III to escalate and break out. That's exactly what they want. Okay, Albert Pike, just look up Albert Pike on the 3 World Wars. Okay. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Monday during a meeting Tehran that the more a state takes this kind of proactive measures, the greater the risk and the danger of an escalation of the conflict. He called out Washington as already among the countries intervening the most since the October 7th Hamas terror attack. Okay, so not even Europe is really getting involved like that over there. It's mainly America. And why? Because America is the hammer of the whole earth. Okay, the great whore, Babylon the Great. And guess what? This is when Revelation 17 and 16 is going to come into play, because America, they can't mind their business. And then look what's about to happen, right? America, they over there in the land of Israel, they in Ukraine, and they about to go up in Taiwan too. So just think about the European nations, and mind you, the European nations are pretty much vassal states to America. All right. So whatever America say do, they got to follow. And you already had the European nations say that they not about to follow America into Taiwan. They don't even want to get involved in what's going on, but in the land of Israel. Okay, because right now the American military is stretched thin, and that's why they about to bring the draft back, because they about to have all these wars going on simultaneously. They gonna need bodies to throw out there into the field. But Revelation 17 and 16, okay, even America's own allies, NATO and the EU, they gonna turn on America, because they're gonna be like, yo, this whore is going crazy. Like, why are you all up in all these other nations' affairs and you starting stuff here and you know sticking your nose in this? Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Ukraine was bad enough. Now you trying to get up in Taiwan. You trying to go in Israel. Like, you sending troops over there. Like, nah, we not with none of that. That ain't got nothing to do with us. Okay. America blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, cutting off any ties that they could have had to Russia. Because, you know, just a quick sidebar, America did that because pretty much Germany, you know, they was in good with Russia because they was getting that cheap gas and that cheap oil from Russia, even though the sanctions was put on. So America figured more or less, well, you know, damn, you know, Germany and Russia are pretty close. You know, and then knowing the history, you know, Germany was against America during World War II anyway, you know. So Germany more than likely they was going to side with Russia, but then they blew up the pipeline. So all right, now there's no common interest between Germany and Russia. So now they have to stay a part of NATO. But it's going to backfire, okay? Because hey, trust and believe, them European nations, they already know that America did that, okay, and now Europe is suffering. All right, so what's gonna happen? These European nations, they gonna end up doing a backdoor deal with Russia and the BRICS and the Eastern nations, and they gonna come against the West. Cause listen, man, the whole international community is against what Israel is doing, and guess who backs Israel? America. Okay. I think Joe Biden is about to send like $30 trillion over to Israel to aid in this war against the Palestinians, right? And the Persians, the Iranians, they about to get involved, and of course we know that Russia is a guard unto Iran. All right, so let me read this: Job 20:27, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So right now the earth is rising up against the Edomite. Okay, they rising up against the Edomite because hey man, everybody sees the Edomite for who they really are, which is the wicked of the earth. Okay, when these people are the cancer of the whole earth, man. Okay, the earth cannot be at peace while these people are in rulership, and this is why the Lord gonna have to get them out of here. All right, this is why the battle of Armageddon, the valley of Jehoshaphat, is going to have to take place, because the Lord is going to plead with all these nations for the sake of the controversy of Israel. But before we get to that point, you seeing all these things ramp up right now. You know what I'm saying? And hey, these things are intensifying day by day. You know, and Iran already said that they already got the finger on the trigger, so they pretty much going to make a move any day now. You know? So we fastly coming towards the full out escalation of World War III. You know, and this year ain't over yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot has happened in October already. Who knows what November and December have in store? You know. But reading on, yeah, you're escalating the conflict. There are red lights flashing everywhere. Officials said that at this point, Iran appears to be encouraging the groups rather than explicitly directing them. One official said Iran is providing guidance to the militia groups that they will not be punished by not getting resupplied with weaponry, for example, if they continue to attack U.S. or Israeli targets. So, let's see this.
Is the U.S. supporting the hostages for a ceasefire deal?
Why did you?
We should have a ceasefire. Not a ceasefire. We should have no hostage released, and then we can talk.
Has there been any progress on that, Mr. President?
And allegedly, there's hostages being held in Gaza, but there's no evidence of that either. Who are these hostages? What are their names? None of this information has came out, but yet they claim that there's hostages. So this is all a big lie. Okay, everybody knows that this is a lie. This is all bullshit. This is all to justify the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. You see, this is all what it's about. And they gonna continue to bomb the hell out them people until they get what they want, which is every Palestinian out of the land of Israel. And this is an urgent matter. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, the scriptures tell you that, matter of fact, let me see if I can get that real quick. Terror shall make him afraid on every side. I believe that's in Job. Hold on, bear with me one moment, Salakia. Yeah, man, right now, terror is making Esau afraid on every side. This man got too much going on. Like his military is stretched thin. Job 18 and 11. Matter of fact, let me start at 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. So right now, this man is being driven to his feet. And then ultimately going to Revelation 12 and 11, the devil coming down with great wrath, for he know that he have but a short time. See, these devils are urgent to take the land over because they know that their time is short. And they're imagining a vain thing. The heathen is raging because they imagine that they're going to stay in their rulership, that they're going to defeat the Most High upon his return, that they're going to destroy all the nations and have the earth to themselves. All right. And once again, man, all this is propaganda. All of this is just, Western media pushing a false narrative to justify what they doing to them Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? Tanks is being sent over there, jet craft, jets, aircraft carriers, all type of, troops that's about to be on the ground over there. So, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's a crazy situation, And they show you the view of the Gaza Strip pretty much since Israel been bombing it. I mean, look, man, like the landscape over there looks apocalyptic. And it's all erupted out of nowhere. Just one day, Netanyahu, and that's another thing, man. Netanyahu is a damn psychopath. Like, this man is evil as hell. And I believe it was him that came out and said that there's no innocent Palestinians. Like, what kind of statement is that? How you gonna say there's no innocent Palestinians, but yet you declared war on Hamas, right? If you declared war on Hamas, why are you killing civilians that ain't got nothing to do with Hamas? But I guess that every Palestinian to you is a terrorist. Okay, every Palestinian to them is linked to Hamas. And why? Because, the Palestinians, they don't want us to have our land. The Palestinians ain't doing nothing to you. You the one that went over there and encroached on the land. The Balfour Declaration, you pushing them out, slaughtering them by the hundreds of thousands. Now again, we understand that neither of those nations, neither the small hat or the Palestinians belong in that land. But when you look at the Palestinians, they was there first, and they was at peace in that land. It was the small hat, the Edomite, that came over there, and they start causing the problems. They the ones that brought the terror to that land. And now this is what you have. Chaos. Look at this shit, man. This thing look apocalyptic. Like, yo, all these buildings leveled out. The people is starving. They ain't got no water. They ain't got no electricity. They can't even stay in the hospital, man. Like, them people that's up in them hospitals over there, they pretty much wondering, what's going to happen next. They can't even get out. They can't even flee into Egypt because they are blockaded in. There's a siege going on.
والله بخير والله بخير والله بخير، بس انت وحد الله والله بخير، انت وين الله.
Yo, and that's why in the kingdom, hey, look, man, you know, this is why in the scriptures, the judgment prescribed for Esau is what it is. You know, they gonna be completely exterminated after they serve they slavery for 1,000 years, because what they trying to do is they trying to exterminate all the nations. They tried to exterminate the Israelites. They trying to exterminate Japheth. They tried to exterminate Ishmael. Look, they tried to exterminate all the nations, man. These the same people that dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and they vaporized millions of people within seconds. So when you look at all the problems that's going on, all the wars, okay, all the chaos, man, this is being caused by one group of people, and they're referred to as the wicked in the scriptures. So all of the wickedness that exists on the planet Earth, there is one source, and it's the wicked, okay, the Edomite. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully, it was edifying through the Rakakadash. Until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect.